I don't know. uh, I should practice before I even do this. You know, like, hey, what's up? Good morning. Welcome. It is I, your host, Pogo Kiddo, with yet another episode of Redstone Lapis Lazuli. It is, here we go. Hello, hello, hi, hello. Resume my game. There it is. Check it out. Hey, hello, Ukraine. Good morning. You're still here. Excellent day. So, yeah. I haven't really been playing Minecraft a whole lot, but I might start up again because they're gonna release an update that uh, that uh, increases the interest of the underground. There's like cities you can find now, so I'm like, oh, maybe there might be a point in going underground. I don't know. Ah, but in the meantime, I run my monitor at 60 frames per second, 60 hertz, because it's the best for streaming. It doesn't overload my video card thingy. But if I switch to, like, when I remember to switch it up to like 120 frames per second, I like fall in love with this game again. I start going around being like, oh my gosh, it looks so real, like so solid when it runs at 120 frames per second. So yeah, like 60 frames per second, not bad, not bad. But I'm telling you, 120 frames per second makes it look so much better. I mean, look, you can kind of see the mountaintop up there, like a little bit in the distance. I like this additional frame or additional view distance. It helps a lot. It helps with setting up a, like, I don't know, getting perspective, I guess. Also, running it on my local machine instead of a server gets the additional benefit of no lag. So I get to do awesome things like this right here. Watch. This is so cool. Bop. Oh, yes. So the way that works is real simple. This is an activator rail. But the problem is I don't want it firing off when I take my cart and go back home. That would be bad. So the way I did it was, it's an activator rail, but it's not powered. On this side of the activator rail is a detector rail. The way this works is when a minecart goes on this detector rail, it will power all the blocks around it, and including this track here. So when I power this, it powers this activator rail. Then I go on the activator rail, get kicked off, and then it departs the minecart departs the detector rail, depowers this, and goes away. Now when I go back, I'm going to run over the activator rail, but it's depowered. Then I'll hit the detector rail, which will power the activator rail, but I'm going that way. So it doesn't matter. It's not going to do anything. It can, do whatever it wants. And then I'm gone. And then this gets depowered and it all resets. It's so nice. You can't really do this on realms because of lag. The lag will make it so that when you press this detector rail, you will be here and you'll get kicked off. So you can't do this on realms. You can only do it on local servers. Remember, like, when I went back and I got kicked off and I was behind the wall? That's because of lag on realms. It doesn't happen on the local game. So yeah, here's a little map of like where we are on things. Like, here's the original building I made. I kind of tore it out, and I don't know what to do with it. It looks so pretty. I don't want to like just lose it. So like, what is it? Is it a stable? Should I make a sheep farm here? I think I should start making animal farms here. Because I'm gonna have my creeper farm up there. I don't have a wool farm yet, so I need a wool farm to get a bunch of wool. And then a place to keep the horses would be nice. Uh, yeah, yeah. And then check it out. There's a little waterfall I didn't even know about somewhere up there. How nice. And then snow. So yeah. All right. What else is going on? What else can I do? I mean, show you how this it doesn't kick me off. Oh, it's so nice. Okay. So making sure another minecart didn't come randomly. Sometimes it does that. I don't know. But yeah. And then plus the next update is going to have mangrove swamps. So that will be a reason to go check out the overworld a little bit. And actually, it gives me a reason to develop the nether because I need a way to transport myself. And I'm not going to do it over land, over the overworld. What a nice base. And this is the train station. All right. So, let's see what's been going on. A lot has been going on. And like, I hope by this point in the game, you, my audience members, understand that this is a lot bigger than just the United States or just your local town. This is like a global deal going on, and that you're part of a bigger thing happening. It's not like I know that fascism wants you to feel alone and by yourself and powerless and completely disconnected. Because when you feel alone and powerless and disconnected, then they can start whispering lies to you. And when you feel powerless and disconnected, you will start to listen to those lies, and they will burrow into your brain. It'll happen. It'll happen. So the important thing to remember is that you're not alone. That this is a way bigger thing, and that the illusion of being alone is just that. It's an illusion. By virtue of listening to this podcast or this show, this whatever, you're already connected, right? I'm already connecting you to all the rest of the world. There's millions upon millions of people who think and feel exactly like you. Even if you can't see them, even if you can't feel them or touch them or hear them, they're out there. Millions of them. Millions. So don't feel like you're alone, that you're struggling by yourself. There's a lot of people out there. And maybe you can't quite touch them or reach them, but they're there. It's sort of like how electrons on the same circuit can be totally disconnected from each other and feel like, oh yeah, I'm never ever going to meet another electron. But they're in the same flow. They're all going in the same circle. They're all part of something bigger. They're already connected. So, like, how do I want to go with this? Okay. The first thing I want to do is talk about a certain billionaire. this billionaire like is a bad person. I've known he was a bad person for like ever. He's a bad person. But recently, his badness has come out a little bit more into the open for other people to see. So let me give you an example of the badness that has come out. Well, here before I go there, the first one is that Elon uses the word woke in a particular way. You know the word woke, right? It's been politicized. It's been appropriated. So here on May 19th, that's like what, 3 days ago? Elon Musk said, unless it is stopped, the woke mind virus will destroy civilization and humanity will never reach Mars. Elon Musk said this without irony. He wasn't joking. He meant what he said. What did he mean? If he meant what he said, then what did he mean? Well, there's this handy dandy. I took off the name because I wasn't sure if this person wanted to be wanted the exposure. But I wanted to give props to the person who came up with this idea, who is Joshua. Okay. There's a cycle of co-option, of appropriation that white supremacists do to everything. They appropriate everything. They come by and they take it and they say, this is mine and this is how I'm going to use it. They don't care where it came from. They don't care who's using it or whose it is. They just take it. That's what imperialists do. That's imperialism. That's the nature of imperialism, to appropriate things that are not theirs. That's the nature of imperialism, to appropriate things that are not theirs. So an example of this is language. This happens all the time to minority cultures and groups, particularly black gay men. I hear, all their stuff gets stolen and appropriated. they will use things and then other people, cisgendered people, will hear it and think that's cool, and they will use it too. And then by using it too, stripped of its context, they destroy it. So that's the nature of appropriation, of imperialistic appropriation. They grab something of value from a marginalized group, and then they appropriate it, stripping it of its contextual value, the thing that makes it what it is. They strip it of the thing that makes it what it is, and they endlessly reproduce it until it's meaningless anymore. So, for an example, the word woke. The word woke, as first used by the black gay community, was in reference to awareness of white supremacy, the way that white supremacy is kind of everywhere in the United States. If you're aware of that, then you can act appropriately within that context. If you're not aware of it, then you act inappropriately because you're not aware of white supremacy. Right? It's kind of like the Matrix. Like, if you can never be free of the Matrix if you're never aware of it. And if you're never aware of it, you can never take control of it. Okay, so this word woke began with in the black homosexual community as a way of expressing a profound truth, which it's profound, right? I mean, it's not I guess it's profound, right? If you are a white person who has never ever thought about white supremacy, and someone said, "Oh, it's all around you. It's everywhere. It's in everything you do." It's that would be, and you saw it, yeah, you would be profound. You'd be, and you woke up to that, that would be a profound waking up. So it's a like a big deal, right? And then you're, once you're aware of it, you can't be unaware of it. You can't not once you see it, you can't unsee it. You can't do it. I mean, I guess you could if you go back to sleep like Cypher did, but anyways, okay. So yeah. So allies take that word and go, yeah, I know what you mean. Woke, stay woke. Yeah, that's a great idea. But then other people start hearing it. They see it has power and they appropriate it. They start to strip it of its context. So what does it mean? Skeptical or contingent allies will say, well, what does it mean to be woke? Like, everyone's saying woke, but what does that even mean to be woke? Well, dude, if you don't know what it means to be woke, you shouldn't be using that word. But they do, because, and it's not like it's not necessarily in good faith. Like, if it was a good faith attempt, then they wouldn't keep asking that question. But because they keep asking the question, despite being told the answer, it means they don't really care. They're trying to appropriate it for another meaning. And then you see how the word starts getting appropriated and turned against its creators. The challengers starts using it. So it goes. The the marginalized groups use an expression of language that is very powerful and profound. The allies of this marginalized group agree and use the word as well, but then contingent allies hear the word, or skeptical allies hear the word and start questioning it and saying, I don't know about this word. I don't know about this word. And then it gets picked up by challengers, people who are opposed to this marginalized group. They're saying, folks trying to be so hard to be woke. Why are you trying to be so hard to be woke? What is this thing with woke being everywhere? Being woke. You work so hard to be woke, but what did you ever think about what it meant to be woke? You see what I mean? Okay. And then the opponents come out and say, oh yeah, this wokeness is everywhere. It's too far. And then finally, the absolute enemies of this marginalized group, of the marginalized people, the enemies of the marginalized people, finally come out, fully appropriate the word, and use it in completely opposite meaning of what it was intended. Completely opposite meaning of what it was intended. They transform the word into the exact opposite, and then they reproduce that opposite meaning in order to negate its original meaning. So, whereas the original meaning of woke meant to be aware of white supremacy used by marginalized groups, it ended up being appropriated by billionaires to say that being aware of white supremacy is actually the thing that is going to destroy everything. Which kind of is true, right? If everything's based on white supremacy and you're aware of it, you kind of want to get rid of it. But they use it in a negative fashion because they are deeply invested in white supremacy. So the way Elon Musk used the word white supremacy in his deal, the way he used white supremacy, woke, he used woke in this way to in the worst way possible. Elon Musk is a white supremacist. He's a white supremacist. And this is manifested because look what he does. He is siding with Vladimir Putin. This is not merely just siding with the Republicans. This is also siding with Vladimir Putin. Now, let me show you how. So Jim Jordan, he's a representative from Ohio. He's infamous because he was a gym coach during a time when boys were being molested, and they came to him for help, and he ignored them. He ignored those boys. Those boys came to him for help, and he ignored them and let those kids get molested and did nothing. That's Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan is coming out, and he's repeating this story from Donald Trump. So let's back up. Let's back up. Remember, Donald Trump was investigated by Mueller, and Mueller found that Donald Trump's campaign and Putin had lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of close ties together the entire time. The entire time. And then Robert Mueller got 8 convictions out of it. He got 8 people to go to prison for that, for what his investigation. It lasted like 1 year and 10 months. But that didn't work well with Donald Trump. So when Donald Trump became president, he started his own investigation called the Durham investigation. He told this guy Durham, "Hey, Mr. Durham, your job is to discredit the Mueller report. So I want you to go and investigate the people who investigated me." Investigate the people who investigated me. That's your job, Durham. So Durham went out and he spent 5 years looking for anything he could to discredit the Robert Mueller report, to say that, oh, even though Robert Mueller showed how Donald Trump and Putin are connected, I'm going to try to make a report to discredit that. But after 5 years, he couldn't do anything. He hasn't found anything. So in desperation, he concocted this story and is blaming this guy named Sussman. He's trying to make Sussman the unfortunate last name. I don't know what you're talking about, Zach. It makes no sense. So he's trying to make this unfortunate guy named Sussman the fall guy, but he can't do it because it's not there. So he's telling a fake story. But he can't prove it. He's a prosecutor. He can say whatever he wants. It's BS because he can't prove it. He'll get 0 convictions. He's not going to convict Sussman. After 5 years of trying to discredit the Mueller investigation, he's going to fail. So it's proven. Donald Trump is on the same team as Vladimir Putin. Jim Jordan is on the same team as Donald Trump, is on the same team as Vladimir Putin. Elon Musk is on the same team as Jim Jordan, is on the same team as Donald Trump, is on the same team as Vladimir Putin. Are you starting to see the connections here? Are you starting to see the connections here? If I make a map, I can draw a line here, snip. That to I can draw a line. Do. Here's snip and sketch. I can draw a line. A green line. Let me get that green line. Here, this isn't even a good one because that has Turkey in there. I don't want to put Turkey in there. Turkey is like an kind of guy. Zach is putting, what Zach is doing is kind of bullshit. What are you talking about, Zach? That's some bullshit. I don't know what you're talking about. Can you point to anything other than whisper weird things? No, you cannot. I'm giving you real things here. You got nothing. So here. So Robert Mueller said, this is Robert Mueller in conjunction with Australia, New England, or the UK, the Netherlands. The Russian government interfered in the 2016 presidential elections in sweeping and systemic fashion. This is what Robert Mueller said, and all these Americans said. Vladimir Putin says the opposite. Vladimir Putin says, "Oh no, this is all bullshit. Russia didn't do anything. This is all bullshit." So Musk sides himself with Vladimir Putin in that thing there. What else do I got here? Here's the other problem. All we hear about from the media is this scary, scary stuff about Black Lives Matter and Antifa. But the problem is, the actual reality is that none of that makes sense because all of the attacks are from right wingers. All of the attacks are right wingers. The last two massacres we had, the one in Buffalo, New York, and the one in California, Laguna Hills, California, were both from white supremacists, Nazis. But literally, Nazis are what's attacking the United States. Nazis are the ones who are attacking the United States. You got Tucker Carlson here talking about great replacement rhetoric all the time on his show, which is the same BS that the what's it called used. It's the same BS that the Nazi talked about. So they're repeating it on the news. They're repeating it. That's why they're like actively promoting fascism. Now, when you go look over in Italy, they're doing the same thing. So like, I'm here telling you what's up, right? That Putin and all the fascists are trying to take over our government, and we have proof of it. It's not contested. There's actual proof, and people are in prison for it. But over in Italy, they're not so like secure in their understanding of the way life works, of the way things are working. They have this guy here, Bersoloni or something. He's a fascist. He's a billionaire in Italy who's great friends with Putin, and he's trying to confuse the Italians as to what's going on with the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Why would he do that? Why would he try to confuse all these people? Well, it's because they're on the same team. Berlusconi and Putin. This is from 2015. They love each other. Of course he's going to be trying to confuse the Italian people to be against NATO and to embrace this asshole, because they're both gangsters. They're both mafia people. They work in the same way. Look at that one. On January 13th, or in 2013, Berlusconi praises Mussolini on Holocaust Memorial Day. So Berlusconi is a Nazi, right? It's real clear. Berlusconi is a Nazi. Berlusconi, a Nazi, praise this guy, Mussolini, is friends and loves Putin, and is telling, and look at the news. Look at the recent news. Berlusconi is telling NATO to get Ukraine to accept Putin's demands. What? Why? Why would you do that? No, Ukraine's kicking ass. Ukraine's doing great against Russia. Russia's falling over and dying. Russia's collapsing. Russia's on the verge of falling over. We want to see Putin removed from office. There's no other ending for this. The only ending is for Putin to be removed from office. Putin knew this when he tried. We told him this. I warned him. I warned you, Putin. I told you, don't invade. Don't invade. It's going to get away from you. You won't be able to control it. You won't be able to control it. And did you listen? No. You didn't listen to me, did you, Putin? What happened? What happened? Exactly what I said, huh? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So you know what else that means, right? You know what else that means. You can't stay, Putin. You can't stay. You're gone. Look at your buddy here. Your buddy is trying to confuse people, but it's not going to work in the United States. It might work in Italy, but it's not going to work here. We got your number, Holmes. We know you. We got you. So your buddy Musk, Putin's buddy's Musk, is trying to cause problems here in the United States, and he has to drop his mask in order to do it. So remember, for the longest time, what's his face? Elon Musk was a Nazi, but he was protected by the notion of plausible deniability, because that's a way of saying things, and then when people call you out on it, a way to like back out of it so that you can't get caught. So that way so you can attack from the shadows without ever exposing yourself to counterattack. That's plausible deniability. So it's the ability to deny knowledge or responsibility for any damnable actions committed by members of their organizational hierarchy. Oh, wait a minute. This is for something else. This is for stochastic terrorism. They may do so because of a lack of They may do so because of a lack of or absence of evidence that can confirm their participation, even if they were personally involved in or at least willfully ignorant of the actions. Because they want to shift blame onto the agents who carried out the acts. The lack of evidence to the contrary ostensibly makes the denial plausible. So this is how Tucker Carlson can repeat great replacement theory over and over and over again on his talk show and then say, oh, I don't know what happened when someone goes out and enacts it. He says, I don't know what they're talking about. I wasn't talking to them. Plausible deniability. That's how he covers himself. That's how he can attack from the shadows. Yeah, the right wingers, dude. It's the Nazis. We got to watch out for the Nazis. This is still valid. This is still valid. All right. So then what kind of drove me off the edge here recently was this little clip here of truth coming out. The truth coming out.
In contrast, Russian elections are rigged. Political opponents are imprisoned or otherwise eliminated from participating in the electoral process. The result is an absence of checks and balances in Russia and the decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of Iraq.
That's him. That's him. That's George W. Bush. The reason why we're in this mess today is because the Supreme Court selected George W. Bush to be president over the democracy, what the Americans chose. They selected George W. Bush, who then invaded Iraq for no reason, which caused all this bullshit to happen. Yeah, the truth comes out. He knows what the truth is. He knows what the truth is. The United States started to torture under his command. So, I don't know what to say. I mean, it's out. I mean, it's obvious. It's obvious what's going on. What am I looking for? Looking for this one here. I need the green line one because that's the nice one. Oh no, pick a side. Pick. All right. This is what's up. This is what's up. This is seriously what's up. You have this side saying that Russia attacked the United States. So you have all the CIA, the FBI, the NSA, you have the Netherlands, the EU, You have Australia, the UK, all these people are saying, yeah, this is what happened. And then Putin, who's allied with Rupert Murdoch and gangsters and white supremacists and Russian oligarchs, they say, oh, no, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. And Elon Musk is over here saying, yeah, I'm over here with you, Putin. All these Americans, all these Westerners, they don't know what they're talking about, according to Elon Musk. Elon Musk stands right next to Vladimir Putin to tell everyone over here. That's what he's saying with this thing here. This is what Elon Musk is saying. Elon Musk is trying to repeat the same story that Donald Trump said in order to discredit the Mueller report. So this story here that Elon Musk is telling is the same story that Vladimir Putin is telling. Where'd it go? I did lose it. Go back. So Elon Musk, this side is saying, you guys attacked us. And this side is saying, no, Vladimir Putin, the Russians didn't do anything. The Americans don't know what they're talking about. All those American agents, all that American intelligence is bullshit. That's what Elon Musk is saying. So just so you remember, just so you know, when you see Tesla cars out there, where that money is going. Where is that money going when you buy Tesla car? It's essentially going to Putin to help Putin with his invasion. I don't know, someone put out there, someone read the diary of the Buffalo shooter. The diary was like his day-to-day thing. And in the diary, the guy found out that the shooter dude had a toothache. And then when the shooter dude went on the internet to 4chan, the Nazis used the toothache to blame everyone else. That's what Nazis do. They try to find a weak spot and then they exploit it. They don't care what the weak spot is. Do you feel ugly? Do you feel rejected because you're ugly? The Nazis will have an answer for you. Do you feel bad because you're overweight? The Nazis have an answer for you. Do you feel bad because you don't have as much money as other people? The Nazis have an answer for you. It's always the wrong answer, but there's an answer. And if you're like a healthy person, you will like laugh at their stupid answers because they're stupid answers. But if you're a weakened person in a bad position, in a bad place, you might start to listen to the lies and you might start to believe them. And then that leads to bad places where everyone gets hurt. Everybody. The hurt explodes. And people had nothing to do with it, end up dying. Like, they're the least responsible people. Like, that's what I don't get about white supremacists. Like, if they're so hung up on power, how is it they don't understand where the power is? Like, I don't get it. White supremacists will blame the weakest, most powerless people, the people with the least amount of responsibility for their situation. Like, for a group that loves power, they're pretty shitty at finding out where it is. See, Nazis like to use insinuation. Like this guy here, like the Zach the whatever guy, dude. Here, I'm gonna grab that. All right, this guy right here. Where'd it go? The fuck is he talking about? What is he talking about? Some bullshit. See, if you poke on him, right? If you try to get him to say anything, he won't. All he's there for is to dog whistle. He's dog whistling. Right? He won't ever talk about what he means here because he doesn't mean anything. He is repeating conspiracy theories. So this is bullshit. This is all bullshit. Bullshit. You can't talk about anything. You have nothing to talk about. It's conspiracy. This kind of thing is what Putin wants. He wants there to be confusion. He wants people to believe that there's no way to know the truth. That's what Putin wants. He wants you to give up. And because if you can't know the truth, then you give up and you believe whatever the most powerful person says. But I'm here to tell you there is a truth and you can find it. So before I go, I got one more thing to do. I took a class, a drama class in college, at a community college. And it was fantastic. It was amazing. I took a couple of drama classes. I took drama in high school, and I took drama in college, like in community college. And in community college, I learned about two forms of acting, two different ways of acting. Now, the one that everyone's familiar with is the Western method acting, where the actor, they really like become the character. So they learn about everything that would motivate the character, and they like do everything to like internalize all of that stuff, all of that of the information of this character, and try to imprint the character upon their person, so that whatever comes out of them is an expression of the character and not them. It's kind of intense. It's a hardcore way of acting, super hardcore way of acting. I heard Christian Bale is a method actor. He acts like that. It's super hardcore. It's pretty hardcore. Okay. But then once upon a time, these actors went to Japan, and they were watching kabuki theater. They were watching like acting in like the Japanese style, and they watched as a samurai like came onto stage, and I don't know, the way that they moved and behaved, it really affected the Western actors who watched it. They're like, wow, that was so powerful, so amazing. He was so there in the moment. He like, because they're like, how did you do that? We've been trying our Western style to have such presence and intensity, but we can never like really match that. Like, how do you do that? And the guy said, well, I walked in, I put down the flower, I stood up, and then I walked off stage. And the Westerners are like, what? Huh? Because it's a completely different way of thinking about how to do acting. So the Western people, they mold themselves to be a reflection of the character. But for the Japanese actors, the way they did it, the way they do it, is strictly by the form. They don't even look at the content. Don't look at the content. Don't look at like that stuff. Look at the forms, the actions, the things that the person did. So as they act, what they seek to do is not to internalize the character onto themselves, but rather perform the actions as perfectly as the character would have done themselves. In other words, they become the vessel through which the natural content could flow. They don't try to imprint their interpretation of the content. What they try to do is recreate the actions and let the content itself flow through and express itself. Totally opposite way of doing it from method acting. The actor is not at all there, in other words. They are strictly the outside of it. And whatever comes out is the content of the character they're trying to express. I don't know if that was coherent enough to make sense. But I just want to say that you can understand things from multiple perspectives, and that every perspective is valid. Not that every perspective is equally valid, but you can find valid perspectives that are different from the one you expected. How about that? Okay. With that, like, I haven't gotten my public hearings like I thought I was gonna get, and it's May and was June. But more and more stuff is coming out about, like, I think the latest one is that a congressman gave a group of people a tour of the Capitol the day before the insurrection. And then the congressman complained loudly when they were asked about it. And then now it's coming out that actually, yeah, he did give a tour, and yeah, it was more than just a family. It was a bunch of people. It was their guests as well. Well, who were their guests? He hasn't said yet. So, and then Jeannie Thomas, the wife of Clarence Thomas, I think exchanged emails even more, just all over the place with trying to overthrow the election. So, like, this is such a big thing. It's worldwide. It's literally worldwide. So I can understand if it's hard to keep track of because of its enormity. But yeah. Plus, there's people out there trying to confuse you, like this Zach guy, right? Trying to throw out some nonsense BS to confuse you. But stay on target. Stay on target. All right. I guess that'll do it for me. Until next time, Pogo Kiddo out. Peace. Stop.